48 teams, 3 countries, 1 week, and it already feels like a whole season. This is everything that happened in Week 1 of the 2026 World Cup. Let's go. 3 opening ceremonies: USA, Canada, Mexico. Katy Perry, Blackpink, J Balvin, they all showed up. But the second Shakira's voice hit, that's when it really started. 4 World Cups. First game, Mexico versus South Africa. South Africa only entered Mexico's box twice, the entire match. And yet, 3 red cards in 1 game, 3. All of Qatar 2022 only had 4 total. We were off to a wild start. The Brazilian referee then tried to explain a VAR decision in English. Let's just say a language learning app immediately offered him a sponsorship deal. Czech Republic versus South Korea. Czech squad averages 6'2". Their last 5 goals, all set pieces. 2 of them from throw-ins. Vladimir Kufal throwing the ball looks like an Olympic shot put event. But South Korea played beautiful football and took the win with 2 stunning goals. Kyle Larin came off the bench in the 76th minute for Canada. 121 seconds later, goal. Coach Jesse Marsch was asked what he told him. His answer? I told him to find a way into the box and score. That was the entire tactical briefing. Switzerland had 26 shots against Qatar, 3.2 expected goals, and couldn't get the second. Qatar scored in the 94th minute to steal a point. The same Qatar that didn't score a single goal at their own 2022 World Cup. Redemption arc unlocked. Scotland hadn't scored at a World Cup since 1998, 28 years. McGinn's goal bounced off 2 defenders before going in. He said, I was hoping for something prettier, but who cares? We've waited 28 years for this. Turkey versus Australia. Australia's coach Popovic benched the starting goalkeeper, shifted Irak Kunda to the left, and every single change worked. The 22-year-old keeper made 8 saves. Kunda scored the first goal. The man pushed right scored the second. Everything Popovic imagined happened. Turkey was tactically outprepared from minute 1. USA hosted Paraguay in Los Angeles. Paraguay couldn't escape their own half. And we saw the new VAR rule in action for the first time. Simulation now gets you a yellow card. Divers, you've been warned. If you're enjoying this, hit subscribe and drop a comment. It genuinely helps. Brazil versus Morocco. 2 Real Madrid teammates. Vinicius tried 8 dribbles. 0 worked. Hakimi shut him down the whole game, but left him alone just once. That one moment led to a penalty. Brazil scored it, Morocco equalized, finished 1-1, and the 2 of them hugged at the final whistle. Morocco's goal scorer, Sayari. Hours after the match, Bayern Munich called PSV. Price, 55 million euros. World Cup shop is open. Germany, Houston. 7 goals. Germany beat Curaçao 7-1 and became the all-time leading scorer in World Cup history with 239 goals, overtaking Brazil's 238. Their 37-year-old coach Nagelsmann beat a 78-year-old opposing manager, youngest versus oldest. After the final whistle, Germany and Curaçao players formed a prayer circle together on the pitch. That's what this tournament is really about. Japan went 2-0 down against the Netherlands and refused to quit. 88th minute. The ball bounced around the box like a pinball machine and hit the net. Very on brand. After the final whistle, Japanese fans pulled out trash bags and cleaned the entire stadium before leaving. Their players left the dressing room spotless. They even folded the training vests, every single one. Nobody expected much from Ivory Coast versus Ecuador. They gave us 90 minutes of chaos, 3 posts hit by Ecuador, and Ivory Coast won it in the 89th minute through substitute Amad Diallo. Their first World Cup win in 12 years. Tunisia lost 5-1 to Sweden and fired their coach mid-tournament. Only the 4th country in history to do that. The Swedish player who scored twice, he has Tunisian roots, he didn't celebrate either goal. Last European champion Spain. First game, 0 goals. Cape Verde held them to a 0-0 draw. Their 40-year-old goalkeeper cried at the final whistle, a moment of pure pride. Belgium had Lukaku on the bench and couldn't get a single shot on target. Egypt took the lead, assisted by Mo Salah on his 34th birthday. Lukaku came on in the 66th minute, immediately caused chaos in the box, and Belgium equalized through an own goal. Uruguay were heavy favorites against Saudi Arabia and struggled the entire first half. Bielsa subbed off Darwin Núñez at halftime, furious as always. Saudi Arabia's coach meanwhile admitted he only had 12 training sessions with the squad before the tournament. 12. Iran versus New Zealand was quietly one of the best games of the week. Chris Wood held up play brilliantly. Elijah just scored twice with perfectly timed runs, just in time. His name literally wrote the headline. Iran fought back to draw 2-2. Then immediately after the match, they were told to leave the United States. That is not what this tournament is supposed to be. France versus Senegal. 24 years ago, Senegal beat France in the 2002 group stage. They never met again, until now. France played awful football in the first half. 3 touches in the box, 1 shot, off target. But the second half, completely different team. Elise moved central, combinations started clicking, and Mbappe scored twice to become France's all-time top scorer. He now has 14 World Cup goals, and he's eyeing Klose's record. Which brings us to the main event, Messi. His 200th international cap, hat trick, 16 World Cup goals. He just equaled Klose's all-time record. While Kane, Mbappe, and Haaland were all scoring twice and chasing the golden boot, Messi looked at them and said, "Not yet." Scaloni put it perfectly. What can I say? He's been doing this for 20 years. Everyone wants to watch him, not just Argentinians. We should enjoy his football, because for as long as Leo wants to be the best, he will be. Messi cried after his first goal. He said it had nothing to do with football. He's been going through difficult times, but his teammates were always there. When Leo is with Argentina, he's home. Jordan gave Austria a real scare before Marko Arnautovic came off the bench, caused an own goal, then added a penalty. His first World Cup goal at 37 years old. Portugal had 80% possession against Congo, 94% pass accuracy, 2 shots in 45 minutes. They scored from a corner, headed in by one of the shortest players on the pitch. Congo equalized late, 1-1. All criticism went to Ronaldo, his 10th consecutive major tournament match without a goal. Congo's midfielder even said after the game, "We didn't make a specific plan for Ronaldo. With all due respect, he's getting old." England versus Croatia was probably the best match of the week. Croatia scored 2 beautiful goals in the first half. Kane missed a penalty, but the keeper stepped off his line, the kick was retaken, and Kane scored. He said, "I noticed before the game that he likes to stay on his line. So I waited for him to come forward. That's why he's one of the best." Kane's second goal gave him 10 World Cup goals, tying Lineker's 36-year-old record for England. Ghana versus Panama, 90 minutes of chaos. Decided in the 95th minute. Semenyo ran, cut inside, 20-year-old Yadam made the perfect run to the back post. Ghana win. Colombia versus Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan's first ever World Cup. They even scored former Başakşehir player Feyzullah Ayev tapped in at the back post. The crowd went crazy. Then Luis Diaz happened. Colombia won 3-1. That's week 1. 48 teams. Hundreds of moments, and we're just getting started. If this video helped you understand the tournament, subscribe, leave a like, and we'll see you for week 2. This is MatchBreak.